I think he's been exceptional. One of probably Man United's player of the season with Bruno Fernandes.
So we've got a back five and the goalkeeper. And we said that for a pragmatic system to be a bit more flexible, we'd see the 5-3-2 turn into a 4-4-2. So what I'm guessing is we're going to have two players that can play centrally, and then another central player that can also drift into like a wide system.
Yeah,
Jack Grealish.
I think that's
it's got to be.
Jack
Grealish. Personally, I think he's. People are going to take this the wrong way. I think he's England's most talented player. I genuinely do. Like, for broad talent, for what he's going to do, he'll bring the most. That's what I mean. I don't think Harry Kane is the most talented English player, in my opinion.
Right.
But for what he's going to bring to the team, his talents will be not exploit. You know what I mean? Like, he'll showcase them more than anybody else. Because let's face it, when he gets the ball,
I think
what's going to happen.
I think the best thing about that in a pragmatic system is when he's one of them like sort of tactic-proof players where, honestly, if you just design a team around getting the ball to Jack Grealish, the spaces open up as soon as he gets the ball and starts running at players. And I think in a system where you're perhaps looking to stop and nullify the opposition, Jack Grealish is perfect if you can get him in to balance it out and give you something going forward as well. So I think based on that, for me, he's ahead of the likes of Phil Foden, who might be in that position, or Mason Mount. Even though Mason Mount's probably the poster boy of talented player that runs back as well. Like, so are we all agreed on that? Or would you go with
personally have, if we're going to choose someone like that, it has to be Jack Grealish. He just causes so many problems and creates so many things. Like, the way he picks up the ball in a pocket of space, he'll dribble with it. He opens up the pockets himself, but when does he lose possession? Possession doesn't get lost because he's fouled. Or he keeps the ball and he opens something up for somebody else. And I think when you get someone who makes an amazing run, he'll get set on the left side of the pitch. He'll either take it on the outside the flank or drive inwards with the ball. He can revert someone's system so much with added movement, say, for someone like Raheem Sterling, who's probably got one of the best movements in the world, never mind England, because he's always on the end of things, Man City, and he is the poacher for City, essentially. So, well, he has been over the last few years. So I think that he has to be there because I think we'll create the most from Jack Grealish out of anybody else.
And he supplements.
Exactly.
So he's so good on the half turn as well. He can just explode. And England have some of the fastest players like around at the moment. Like we can talk about those a bit later. But I think England are suited to a counter attack in team, and he can be the one that starts that attack if he drops into midfield.
But then the question comes on who's next to him to balance that out. So we've got the back five and the goalkeeper. Jack Grealish is playing left centre mid that turned into a left mid. Is that in a 4-4-2?
Yeah. If the transition changes, definitely.
So now you've got a central midfielder and a right centre mid that can also play the double pivot in a 4-4-2. Who are those players for you?
I think the right central midfielder plays as that for his club football, and he's the biggest leader in the squad. I personally would say Jordan Henderson.
And I'm guessing, I think Declan Rice is a shoe-in for like the central pivot. I think we've all agreed on that. He's had just a quick thing on him. He's had an amazing season. He plays in a sort of a double pivot with Souček as well.
And he showed his talents, especially bringing the ball forward.
Exactly.
I think he surprised the league. All the spectators, everybody watches the Premier League has been surprised with Declan Rice. He's shown how technically gifted he actually is. Because on the ball, he's shown that he's actually unreal. The way he drove, was it the Arsenal game? Not so long ago, 3-3. He gets the ball in his own box. He literally runs to the opposing box and takes.
He's actually
got
pace.
He's
actually quick.
He's really good at doing that. So I think that to have him in that, I think Declan Rice he's going to play, isn't he?
So we'll say Declan Rice. You said Henderson in right centre mid.
I personally would.
I'm going to say Calvin Phillips personally.
What, instead of who? Instead of Henderson?
Instead of Jordan Henderson in right centre mid.
Really?
I think Calvin Phillips is... I think what Luke's saying is like Jordan Henderson, the leader and like the guy that will keep you on your toes, which we've said at the start of this podcast, that you need that to play pragmatic football.
He's a winner too, and he knows what to do in them situations. He knows how to help control games.
I agree with that, but I think as an actual footballer who suits this pragmatic system the best, I just think Calvin Phillips, like playing under a Bielsa team, he's just as physical as Jordan Henderson. He covers as much ground. I don't know if that's statistically true or not, but I think he's on the same bracket in that.
They play a very high intensity football.
But exactly, and then when he picks the ball up in deeper positions, I think it offers more than Jordan Henderson because he's passing through the line. In my opinion, it's second to none. I think as well, I think the long passing of someone like Jordan Henderson is... Look, if you think, for example, if we're switching to a 4-4-2 and he gets it in the deep pivot area and Jack Grealish is in a free area to space, he's going to ping it straight to him. Jordan Henderson. Yeah, Calvin Phillips will do the exact same thing. So, what separates the two, in your opinion?
I think Jordan Henderson is a better player, personally.
I personally think, as a footballer, Calvin Phillips is a better player. I just think Jordan Henderson brings the leadership package, which, in my opinion, fair enough. Like for pragmatic football, it probably suits.
And as well, in pragmatic football, you're not going to be scoring 4 goals and routing someone, are you? Your game management has to be tip top.
But I think, like, usually playing, I feel like we've said pragmatic about 50 times so far.
It's a topic. That's what we're going for.
So playing that style of football, you're usually coming up against a possession-based football. Mm-hmm. And possession-based football nowadays always incorporates a counter press.
Yeah.
Who's the best playing out of a counter press, out of Henderson and Phillips? For me, it has to be Calvin Phillips. I think he's better on a half turn, and I think he plays as a single pivot for Leeds in a 3-3-1-3, and I think that he has less protection in that sense. So that, therefore, in my opinion, he's more suited to play out of a counter press and probably brings more to a matchup of pragmatic football versus possession-based football, for me, at least.
I agree with what you're saying, but I think I think what Henderson's been exceptional at in the winning period of Liverpool is his game management's been that's probably been, because people think when they talk about Jordan Henderson, all right, he doesn't score wonder goals, he doesn't have unbelievable footballing ability, but I think sometimes you don't have to be successful as a footballer. His leadership, his game management, his passing, I think he's quite underrated, to be fair. I think we can cut him a few slack that he can split the line. John Henderson can do it. He can play. I mean, his diagonal balls to Liverpool are unbelievable. So, but I personally think that Henderson can do that. He can do it. But I understand what you mean when you're looking for a more half-turn type of player, play out of a press. I do, Calvin Phillips is probably better at that. But I think that one thing England lacking is true leaders. Right. And I think that's, if you look at some of the national teams, they're dotted around with leaders. And if you have someone like Henderson in there, who will, because I think he should be England captain. It shouldn't be Harry Kane, in my opinion. Because I don't think he's as good as a leader as what Jordan Henderson is. If you're gonna play for a captain, who are you choosing?
I mean, I've seen Harry Kane give it motivation.
Come on, lads. Come on, lads. Yeah, come on. Yeah, come on. We're gonna fucking do him. Oh, nice one, Skipper. You're really up for that.
So yeah, I'll give you that. Henderson, I actually like him. And to be fair, I think I'm going to agree to disagree and say Jordan Henderson for pragmatic football, because I think concentration is key for pragmatism, and I think Jordan Henderson,
and someone who's going to run himself into the floor for the 90 minutes.
Exactly. So fair enough. I'll let you have Jordan Henderson there.